this first poem from our poetry collection, From the Heart to the Bladder,
The first book in the From the Heart series
is called The Womb of the Wildebeest.
Wow, okay, so
Basically, I wrote this poem when I was pregnant with my 16th child, and I was going through a lot of hormonal changes.
You were going through a lot of hormonal changes.
Like, you know, like heaps of stuff was happening. Like, remember, like, it was just like crazy. Like, there was some, you know,
hormonal, I forget.
The hormonal change. Yeah.
Wasn't really that eventful.
No, trust me. You didn't see most of it, but if you ask Doris, she can vouch for me that it was like nothing like ever. Yeah.
Tell me about Doris.
You better not.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
And so it was like really tough, and I was like, I've got to do this for my kid though.
Yeah.
So I wrote the poem, The Womb of the Wildebeest, and this is it. The Womb of the Wildebeest. Is it right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was recording, right.
The Womb of the Wildebeest.
Wildebeest.
The wildebeest smiled with a scowl upon his face, and the tentacles that adorned his jaw resembled Victorian lace. The soap scum lost its style, and the goat misplaced his head. But when the sun became a catfish, the wildebeest was replaced.
And as the catfish's rays beamed down upon the replaced wildebeest, the goat's egg hatched to replace the wildebeest's lace. The king or queen smiled, with their lungs bearing their chest. They cut off the 7 heads, the wildebeest, and engulfed the goat egg's lace.
The lace shrivelled to a liver, and the egg became a worm.
Shit.
The snake crawled from the chest-bearing lungs, and the bladder began to fade. The king or queen shuddered as their body was replaced, and soon emerged the wildebeest with skin, mycosis on his face.
What? Heads had become one. Skin mycosis adorned. The king or queen's body was porous to the goat's arm. The lace that hung off the wildebeest had turned into soap scum. With its repulsive star reborn, it feasted on the king or queen's lungs.
Lungs! The lungs were devoured faster than the womb. And soon the past-filled jelly opened to reveal a tomb. The catfish grinned at the prospect of a vomit-inducing cocoon. But the worm would have its turn.
It would.
But now was too soon.
It would.
And the goblin liked to bake, but the lake resented the steak.
It's, not good at all. No. The bladder rose from the past. The catfish was filled with anguish. He merely choked on the goblin. The vomit-inducing cocoon fell into the lake. The soap scum screamed in peril. Who was no longer transparent. The snake slithered into the tomb. The wildebeest stared at the lake.
The goat's udder quivered as the vomit-inducing cocoon began to shake. The wildebeest eye saw it. An anus materialised in the wave. The bowels were intact, but the cheeks were inflated. The bladder faded in distress as the king or queen's beard was activated.
Right, yeah, I understand. The wildebeest wailed as the anus overturned to reveal a whale. The whale levitated upon the water fountain, past seeping from its anal gland. The goblin was regurgitated from the catfish. The bladder and the worm stared in wonder.
Yeah?
As the whale produced a whirlwind of projectile vomit. Soon the shores glowed with egg white.
The atmosphere was heavy with the stench of egg white. But in a most unexpected twist, the wildebeest hooted with delight. The skin mycosis that once rang true, that once true, that once floated like the goblins too. The land was wild clear, and the king or queen conked out, and seen from the womb rose his flaming-crested baby. In celebration, the anal gland was twisted into a cape. And then he criticised.
Yeah, no, it's crepe. It's boring.
What? No, let's take that right. Ow!
The cape turned back into the anal gland and fizzled in the moonlight.
What about the skin mycosis?
The skin mycosis, my dude.
Yeah.
Bowed down to the wildebeest. Flame dripped from his yarn.
His yarn?
The goats uttered rejoiced.
Egg white.
His green milk was now infinite. The wildebeest sat upon his cellulite crafted throne.
His smiling scale was restored. By Shazza. Oh.
Holler playing.
Yeah.
How wash? Kiss it. Bet you like that, bitch.